Hey guys, so today we are going to jump into Shopify plan breakdown. We're going to take all the Shopify plans that exist, not only break them down by the numbers, but we're going to answer the one question that clients always ask me, which is how do I know when it's time to increase to the next plan? So if they're on an existing plan, how do they know when it's time to upgrade? Or when they're coming straight into a plan, how do they know which one to start off with? We're going to go through some volumes and see some sales volumes and order volumes to see at what rate should you upgrade and what rates are best for each plan. Okay, great. So here I did a bit of a breakdown taking into account all of the 5 Shopify plans that currently exist. So a while ago, Shopify Plus didn't used to exist. The top one used to be Advanced Shopify, and their plans have grown since then, become a little bit different, and the features have sort of distributed a little bit differently. So by the time you watch this, things may have changed slightly, but as of the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, this information should be fairly new. So I just want to talk about the first 2 plans. First of all, we've got Shopify Lite and Basic Shopify. The differences between these two shouldn't be decided on volume, but these should be decided on functionality, because Shopify Lite allows you to have an embeddable button, but not a storefront. So if you wanted a shop storefront, you would have to go with one of these 4 plans, because Shopify Lite gives you the cart, so you get the Shopify cart and the ability to embed any product onto another site and allow them to shop and fully purchase on that site, but it does not give you your own storefront. So between Shopify Lite and Basic Shopify, that's the deciding factor more so than sales. Do they need it to be a buy button, or do they need it to be a fully functional shop? So that's the first thing that I usually ask my clients. Then we're going to assume that they want a fully functioning shop, because we're going to look at the other 4 and compare those. Now, things are going to be different for every single store that exists. Like, there's so many factors. So we made assumptions that we use to be able to calculate these rates. So let's go through some assumptions at the bottom. We're assuming they're using Shopify payments. So Shopify payments or Shop Pay, there's no additional transaction fees on any of the plans, but there is additional transaction fees if they're using a third-party payment processor like PayPal, or there's a lot of other ones as well too. But if they're using a third-party payment processor, that could lead to additional fees. So we're going to assume that that's not what's happening. We're also assuming that you're shipping domestically, and we're assuming that you're using standard shipping, 3 to 5 days. So we're not assuming any express, overnight, or very expensive shipping packages. We're assuming a package weight of around 2 pounds, and we've estimated the shipping cost around 13, and we've estimated the order price of the products at around $45. So there's a lot of assumptions we made, but we did have to come up with some numbers initially to be able to do all of the calculations above. So there was a lot of stuff that's not factored in as well too. We don't have margins, we don't have costs of goods sold, we don't have marketing costs, and we don't have operating or staffing costs involved in these calculations. We are really just looking at the monthly fees and how much you would need to sell to make up the monthly fees by the savings you're getting from credit card fees and from shipping discounts. We're not going into all the additional features. So keep in mind, even if you are not hitting a certain sales threshold, you might want to upgrade to another account because there might be features that just fit your company better. For example, Shopify Plus has a lot of features for workflow. They have a lot more advanced reporting features. You have dedicated customer support. So a lot of those times, that to a store owner is worth the $2,000. So it might not be all just about these numbers, because you of course have to consider, are there things that you can automate with some of the more advanced plans that would also save you on time and labor costs and all of that too. So there's a lot of factors going in. We want to use this as a really rough guideline, but basically what I did was, once you start to go up the levels, how much of these savings actually add up to the differences in the monthly fees? And that's how we got to these numbers. So this is where we'll see, and I'll link this below so you can check it out as well too. This is where we'll see the rates of a 0.2% or 0.3% or 0.4% being saved which adds up to $2 saved every $1,000 in sales, $3 saved every $1,000 sales, and so on. We also have these savings for shipping. So 80 cents per order. So the shipping now becomes, instead of $13, becomes like $8.20, and so on. So we've calculated those rates too. And then what we want to do is, which is what I did do, is find out the number of sales and the monthly order volume numbers that we would need to pay for the monthly fee. Like to have the savings for the discount and the savings for the credit card fees pay for the monthly fees themselves, so that those monthly fees become a no-brainer to upgrade to that level. And then all the features kind of become the icing on the cake. Now, of course, we can't get to these numbers unless we've made all the assumptions down below, but I did mention that before too. So just keep in mind that these numbers may not be directly related to you, because all of these factors could change within your company as well. So when I looked at Shopify Lite at $9, because the products are $45 in our scenario, I just said that we needed one sale, which is understandable. So the next one goes up another $20 a month. To save that $20 a month in fees, we need to sell about $180, which works out to about 4 sales at our numbers, at our fake numbers of $45 a sale. So that's how everything's calculated. So if you're getting into the thousands of dollars, so if you're going from like hundreds of dollars into the thousands of dollars, this is when you want to take a hard look at your numbers and consider whether you want to go up to the standard plan. The standard plan does get, you get more staff seats. It also has a lot better reporting, so keep that in mind too. It's another benefit, but that's where you want to start to crunch the numbers once you get into the thousands of dollars in sales. Once you start to hit the tens of thousands of dollars in sales per month, that's when you want to start to look at not only Advanced Shopify and Shopify Plus. I think it's valuable to look at both of these at the same time and really start to see, because if you're growing to tens of thousands a month, it's only a matter of time before you sort of jump up to that next level. So this is when you want to contact someone from Shopify and have them help you sort out which one of these two to go to. But definitely once you hit around like the $15,000 a month range, you want to start looking at Shopify Advanced. And then if you're still on basic Shopify and you're making $30,000 to $40,000 a month, it's time to upgrade. So you're going to save a lot more money just in fees upgrading to one of these bigger plans. So for those more obvious situations, this is what these sort of calculations are for. And of course, depending on the price of your product, if you start doing volume numbers like 500 to 1,000, you definitely want to look at the upper level of plans too. So I hope that helps. Please keep in mind that these numbers were, again, all relative to this sort of fake data that we created, and they're going to change a bit by scenario. But I would say once you start getting into 5 figures per month, that's when you want to start looking at Shopify Advanced. Once you start getting into multiple 5 figures per month, that's when we want to start looking at Shopify Plus, because there's a lot of other features that could also really benefit you in the long run as well too. So I hope this helps. I'm going to make this spreadsheet available, and the more information I get, I'll try to update it accordingly as well too. So you can check that in the description below. Also in the description below, if you're new to Shopify, you can get 3 months for free as opposed to their normal 14-day trial if you click the training videos below and you sign up through that link. So happy to help you guys however I can. Please let me know if there's any other questions about Shopify. Love to make a video on them. Comment below. I'd be happy to make a video out of it. Thanks, guys.